Hello, welcome back to episode 5. And I just want to show you what we built in episode 5. We didn't do much because I'm not feeling well today, but we managed to still move on and we implement some features. And I want to show you what we implemented in this episode. So if you just go to project detailed page, we simply just added some few buttons on our modules. So today we're working on modules specifically. We added a few buttons. Of course, you have seen the one of edit. You can delete. Okay, we added one of delete. If you want, you can just continue and delete. You can select this module is deleted and it is gone. Okay, so if you go back, you have the edit, delete, and then we added this view where you can view this. You can see this is wireframing task. So these ones that you're seeing here are modules, and a module can have tasks. For instance, this one has now 2 tasks. Okay. The tasks, you can add a new task. You can either add it here to by default add it to do here. You can either add it from here, these plus buttons you're seeing, or you can just skim and add a new task. And you can just say, for instance, design, just like that. So this one adds a new task to design. So you can see here, design has been added here. You can also as well add the tasks uh, within these others. So for instance, if you want to add one in complete, you can just say here, for instance, test, let me just say test 4 and click here. And the moment you have any task that is done, then you can see here here is showing you the percentage of completion for this uh, for this uh, for this module. This one you can see have a percentage of completion, and it is calculated based on how many tasks have completed versus the how many you have. You can see we have 4 tasks and one is complete, so it's like 1 out of 4, which is 25. And you can also still add a module from this page. So you can see if you select authentication, it will go ahead and show authentication tasks. If you just go here, you can add a different module. So just add test, just like this. And you can see that the added new model added here is this one. And you can also click in it and then you can add things. So this is just so you are able to do other things. Of course, we can delete. For instance, if you just here, you have the edit that can help you update a task. Okay, like that. You can have the one to delete a task and the task is gone. Okay, so yeah, that's what we did in this episode. It's not very much, but at least we managed to add this page, which in the next episode we predict to add the Kanban functionality of drag and drop. So in the next episode, we might actually implement the drag and drop, where you can drag this, you put in progress, or you put in a complete, and it will update the status in the database. So let's get started so that we can implement these features. Hello everyone, welcome back to this episode, and this is episode 5 of our project management system. And if you are following and liking the video, please first give a video a like and also subscribe if you're not, and also set the notification bell so that you can always get the updates when I create a new video. So in today's episode, you're just going to focus on modules and designing the detailed page for the modules so that you can actually add tasks, because this is what is going to be determining most of the things as we move on. Okay, yeah. So this is going to be really determining a lot of things, and we just want to give it also a try. Okay, so I it took me a lot of thinking on the design, whether we should do this from here, or we should just create its own page. But according to you see here, we already have a number of things actually packed in place, so it really calls for a detailed page for the project modules, because we'll be doing a lot of things on the project modules. For instance, there will be a Kanban that you add tasks. For instance, authentication, you can go ahead and add tasks in authentication, and then this they will show up on the detailed page for this module, and then we should be able also from that side change these modules and so on and so forth. So the first thing, I'm just going to first change this title here. Instead of project summary, it should just read project modules here. So I can quickly go to close all the tabs, and let's go to project detail. I think this is called project uh detailed page, and we just go to where we have the tabs, and you can just search for project. We have project summary, so here is going to be project modules, just like this. So this should just be matching the name of the tab. Okay, yeah, there you see project modules. So if you click, you get the modules. Okay, this is great. So what I want right now also is on this card, we're just going to add a delete icon. Okay, we'll add a delete icon, so we can just go to where we have the modules, and then in the modules you can see we have this here. So this is the icon. Okay, sorry, just here in this scroll. Okay, so all these ones, I think they're in a scrollable view, which is nice. So if you just go inside the card, these are we have module name, and then we have this one. So what we can do is we can just do something like here flex dot items center. Okay, and inside here we can add this, and we can also go ahead and add another button with a delete. So I can just add a button, and then inside here I can add a delete icon, which is going to be, I think, trash. It is trash and delete. So we can give this the icon itself, let's give it a class name. You can just give it a width of 4, height of 4, and text red maybe 500. So one thing you can just also do, we can extend these by saying just 5 between, so they are at the extreme end here. Okay, so you can see now we have these two icons, and we can also make this one also appear on like the way you see the other one. Okay, so I'm just going first of all give them a gap here. So just give it a gap of 3 and see. Yeah, so that they are really spaced, not to get confused on which one to do. And this one is red. You can just go ahead and make this one to be green. Edit. So here where we have this here, we'll copy this one here. Okay, we'll also give this a text of green 500. Now let's see how this one looks. Yeah, so you can just edit this. Okay, let's just go ahead and apply this, give it a class name, and let's give it these classes so that it doesn't also show up. It only shows up when so when you hover, now you have this. Okay, so we can also just like fire this function for deleting this. Let's go ahead and do that. So on delete, so here we can just say on click on the late, sorry, uh, just you know why it doesn't want to click on click. So on a click, we're just going to fire a function. So you're just going to be passing in an ID. So just going to do something like and module delete, and then we should pass in an ID, which is going to be module dot ID. Okay, something like that. So we can just go ahead and create this handle. So on top here, yeah, so many things, but here you can just say async function is which takes in an ID, a string, and then we can just go ahead and say try catch here, and this is just going to handle the logic of delete. Just say here console.log error. So you can just go here and we first create a in the modules.ts here. We can also handle delete. We have here. So here we have this delete category is going to be delete module. Await deleted module. So I'm just going to change this one to deleted module. Okay. Here's going to be, how we call this is module, go delete and ID. So here we can just also return data null, and then here false. sorry. Okay, so let's just go back to the detailed page, and now we can actually call this function of delete module, and then you just come here and you can just say const response is equal to await. So here we can just like go ahead and just like await delete module, and you can just like call this, and you put ID, and then if response dot okay, then you can just go ahead and toast. You can go ahead and toast the success module deleted successfully. You can just see here. And then like you could just say check. There is no check, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So I could just go here and we get a checked emoji. Let's get like a check emoji. Okay. I just copy this and you can okay. So yeah, so after just go ahead and try this. I'm not sure if it is going to refresh the page, see this, but we can also go to in handle delete. And here I think before return, you can just say revalidate and dashboard projects. Okay, let's just go ahead and see if this works out. I think it should also give us a pop-up. I think deleting it direct would be what if someone accidentally instead of this deletes this one. Let's also add that check. Okay, I'm just going to go to shared, and here we just need this alert dialog, this one. Okay, where you can cancel and also do the thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So this one you can just first you could first go ahead and bring the dialog first on top here, and then secondly we can just bring this. Okay, so you can just go ahead. Oh, sorry. Where are we putting the alert dialog, guys? Okay, I'm just going to go to project detailed page. Here is where we need to add exactly the alert dialog, and then this one. Okay, so here where we have this button now, I'm just going to go below and add this. So where does this button now go? You can copy this button, copy cut in fact, and this first of all, let's drop this. Seems like guys are not seeing very well. So I'm just going to go to this where we have this button of show dialog, code this. Okay. So this one is not going now to trigger this. It's not going to trigger this. Now it's going to be for triggering the delete. So I'm just going to remove this from there. So here are you absolutely sure this action cannot be undone. Delete your is going to delete your this is a module. You're going to delete your module and remove your data from the servers. Okay. We can just say this will permanently delete your module. You can just leave this. Okay. Just like this. And then here we have the cancel and the continue. Now in this continue dialog, I think with this way you're supposed to put a button. I don't know if you put a button here. And let's say continue. And then here we can add this on delete. And I don't know if this one also takes in as child or something. So that it is transformed to this one. So let's go and see if right now. So refresh. Okay, so let's go and create a new test module. So test add. Let's go ahead and now use this one. So we can edit this. You already saw that updated. And now we can just go ahead and delete this. So if you click on delete, are you sure? Are you absolutely sure? So we can also, I think, add a flag emoji that even change the color of this. Okay, I can just first of all the red. I don't know how to explain this. Oh, could just like use an icon, I guess. Let me just go and change this to flex. First of all, just going to make this text red 600 and there is something here in Lucid, I guess, icons. I don't know uh, how do they call that? Okay, it is this warning triangle alert. So I just this is what I wanted to put the triangle alert icon. Triangle alert. Sorry. Triangle alert. And you're just going to give it a class name of width is 4, height 4, margin right of 2. Okay, so let's just go and see this. So just going to be testing on this. So you can see, are you absolutely sure? Uh, we can give this maybe a 5 font bold. I'm not sure if this works on the icons too. Yeah. So they just going to say here delete permanently. Okay, so you can see we have, if you you can do this. Now if we just say continue, you can see module uh, deleted, and you can see it is actually gone. And actually, one thing I think is this. Okay. Um, I'm just going to say, I think here, continue and delete. Continue and delete. Or we could just say confirm and delete. Okay. Continue or confirm. I think they all do the same thing. Like you confirm and delete. And then in this, maybe this, because the other has already has a check, so it's just doesn't make sense. So the delete is done. I'm just going to add one more icon for view. Okay, just going to add one more icon for view. Like if you want to get into the details of this module. So I'm just going to go down here. Okay, so this is the second icon, and then the last icon is going to be the view. So I'm just going to add another button. I'm just going to add the view, which I guess is the I from yeah. So let's give it some class name like others class name here. Let's give it a width of 4, height of 4. Okay. And for it, we can just give it text of maybe purple or something. Okay. Great. So you can see now there are three icons. So I'm just going to, and I think basically if you click, okay, well, we can't make this whole thing a link. At least have just to create this view. So what I'm just going to do is for this is going to be a link. So this href, okay, and we're just going to give it the same class like the way we gave to these other ones. If I just come here, just give it these classes. So to this link, just give them this class name so that it does also shows up. Maybe we just leave it actually the icon black. Okay, so you can just go ahead and click on the view, and you can see this one has this. So what I just want is actually to create the project modules. So in the this, you can see we have already a folder which actually shows project slug. We have the project invoice. So just going to go here and we actually put a new folder which is going to be project modules. So here just going to put like modules. Okay, and then we'll be going inside. So inside the modules, we'll be getting a specific ID, and this is going to be the ID of the module now. So here I'm just going to create a folder which is going to be have an ID just like this. And inside this, let's put a page.tsx. And I'm just going to quickly show you how you can just go to next documentation, next docs, and I'm just going to click here. Just going to search for params, and then here where we have this page.js params, I'm just going to go ahead and copy this, and I will paste this here. I'll just modify it a bit. These params here. I'm going to do structure an ID, and I'll also do the same here. IDs, which is a string. The good thing with this is that we have also search params because we pass in the search params. So you can just say my module page, and you can just go ahead and we can attach a lot of things to this, but we can first capture the ID. So you can just say ID, and then you put ID here. Okay. We'll see the params. So what I want is to redirect to this page. Uh, so from project detailed page, where we have this, I'm just going to start and saying that this should just go to, uh, we just have to put a full path, dashboard. Okay, dashboard. And then from dashboard, we can just come here and we pass in uh, modules, and then ID. Let's pass one. Okay, so you can see here. So we just need to pass in this. So copy this, and is what we're going to pass in here. So a project modules, and then on one is where you're going to actually put the module. Sorry, we just need to put this dynamically. It's going to be module dot id. Okay. So from here we should do that. Another thing is, for instance, this module is not found. Just going to look at that in a second. Okay. So let's go ahead and go to this module. We'll attach also the project ID. So before we leave, actually, before we go very far, let's just say modules. Okay, so here I just want to attach another thing. So we have these modules, and I want to attach a param, which is going to be the project ID. So I can say project ID. We could just say call it a PID. So PID is going to be equal to so here is going to be equal to project data dot even on the module itself, I guess it is there. If you say module dot, you can see there is a project ID. So okay, so we can just now pass into to that. So let's go back. Okay, I'm just going to go to these modules and just going to go to this one. So you can see we have things here, the ID and the PID. Okay, great. So we could just like if we wanted. So let me just go ahead and start like working on this page just for a second. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and work here for a second. Just going to where are we? I'm just going to go inside here. Okay, so we first join this into div, and we start like seeing how we are going to design this. So for starters, what we could do also, um, we need to design uh, we could start by designing, let me put h2 here, modules. Let's first give it, I think, like a max width or something. I'm just going to go to this. We're just going to look for at least one of the views. But what I believe is also on this, we can just get the project. Let me see. Okay, so what I just want to do is on this, I just want to put sort of, let's give it a background color. I'm just going to go here to color kit. I'm just going to look for a nice gradient we can use here. Any of these ones. I'm just going to get this, and we could just, I don't know, how do we specify this? Go to tailwind backgrounds. Okay, just scroll down to, I just need where we have the actual gradients. I just going to say gradients. Okay, so you just need the one with two colors like this. I'm just going to give to this. Okay. Uh, After this, so I'm just going to create another thing inside here, which is going to give it a max width, of let's just say 5xl dot mx auto. Okay, and now this I'm just going to give it abg of white around it like xl, and then like do a shadow, and then here is where we're going to have the modules. Let's just say modules. Let's just see how this looks like. Okay, this is so far how this looks like. So just going to add in things, but we can first give it a min height of screen, and then this one we could give it a padding of maybe 8. Let's see how this looks like. Just going to give a min height of screen. Okay, so you can see how this looks like. Great. And I think maybe we could just increase this to 7, just to, yeah, to have more enough space. Okay, so I'm just also going to divide this into 2 blocks. Okay. I don't know how this one is going to be in terms of responsive, but for now, I'm going to divide this into 2. So I'm just going to say grid dot colors. So here grid, here's going to be grid colors. So just going to divide this into 12. Okay. So the first one, we can just say color span 4. And then the second one, we can give it a color span of 8. So basically, this one is going to be the tasks page, and then this one is going to be the modules. The modules navigation. Okay, so I've just like divided it by 2 like that. Okay, great. So the design we want to adopt right now, I just want to give it just like a navigation. So if you just go here to V0, it had created something like this. I think for they said the this part of the sidebar, I really like this one. I wish I could just get that part only. Okay, of the projects. Can I get like an array of projects right now? Okay, let me just first get here the modules. Okay, just going to click and copy this client onboarding And this is the modules. Yeah. So just want to, this is for purpose of illustration. We'll have all these ones coming, of course, from the database. So I just want to see if I can just get this side was showing. And I think it is this one in the scroll area. Yeah. So just going to copy this div. Okay, let me first only copy the scroll area because it is very easy. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to go here in the side of modules. Okay, and I'm just going to add this scroll area. We can just like bring in the scroll area from here. Just import the scroll area. Okay. So this, of course, this one's just going to remove them just in a second. Just want just show the scroll. So just say these ones are modules. Actually, we can just like get the modules themselves instead of just like doing this. We can just say const modules. So here, let's get the modules. Const modules is going to be wait get project modules. You must get like project modules, right? Let's go and create this. I don't know if it is there or we changed it, but we can just go to modules, create a module, get categories, update. So you can just like here where we have get all categories, we're just going to say get project modules, project modules. So what we can do is that we can just come here and say const modules is equal to await, and here you can say module dot find many. So you can just come here and one, you are going to do two things. Okay, so here this is going to take in ID. It's going to take in ID project ID, which is going to be a string. Okay. So we can just say project module is like this. And I'm just going to let me just say I'm just going to say that you could just say first here there's a possibility of this not being there, so you can just say if project ID, then you can do this. And that means this one can also be undefined. So undefined. Okay. So we can just like find this and we can say where project ID. Okay, just like that. And we want to include some things here, just gonna say return modules. So what we want also is that we want to change this let me see. So just like return modules, sorry, these will return the modules. These we're just going to say include. So you can just go ahead and include I don't know what this like tasks. Okay. These two If you just go ahead in the schema a little bit, you will see that module actually has this task. Okay, and the task has this title and description and the status. Now, actually, the status, we're just going to create the task status here in them. So in is going to have, sorry, in task status status. Okay, just like this. It will have three statuses, which is the to do. I think this one is like in progress and then completed. Okay, if you just like check the all the to do's, to do, doing, and then like completed. It doesn't depend like on what you want to call that. You can be in progress or in what. So just like being consistent with what you are doing here. To do, in progress, and complete. So just going to have these. And so here status is not going to be that. It's going to be of type task status. And we can just say add default. So add default. And we can just say add default is going to be to do. Okay, so when you add a task, it's going to be going to do. Okay, great. Now, you can select it has a title and a description. That task, I think that is like okay. Then due date, um, okay, and you can see it has a module ID. So that's great. So what we want is to include them as we are fetching here. Where is the modules? So as we're fetching, you can see we're including the modules. Now we have to define what is being returned here specifically. So if you see what is returned here, we're just going to go similar to the types. Just going to adopt the same thing we did with project data. So here, project data, I can duplicate this like so, and just going to call this module data, module data. So it's going to have, first of all, things in the module. So you can just go back to the schema and you can just go to this module, and the module has a name. It has like ID, name, okay, use ID, username, and the project ID, and then the tasks. Okay, it has also created add and, but we can I think leave those ones. So if you just go back to the types, you can just say remove all these. Okay, and just going to paste these ones. So you have the ID, you have the name, you have the username, which is the string, and then you have the user ID, a string, project ID, which is a string, and then the tasks. That's why the things starts actually getting nice. I'm just going to first remove all these ones. Let's look at this here. So for this, we need to define a task itself. So here where we have this type module, these have the type task. Okay, task is going to have it has an ID. So you could just also go here and in the task, we could just sit here. the task, what does this task has. So the task has a title, ID, title, and a description and a status, due date, okay, and module ID, and then so on and so forth. So let me just copy these ones. Go back the type task. It uh, it has this here. Okay, it has a title which is going to be a string, a description which is a string, status which is of type task status, task status. Okay, we can first actually push this because it hasn't propagated. Uh, you can stop this server and this one npx prisma db push and this run npm run dave. Okay. This is going to update the Prisma client and we can just go ahead and use it. So here in the types, back in the types, this one is going to be task status. Now I'm going to say this is going to be coming from the schema where we have this task status. Okay. Uh, we'll get this from Prisma client. I don't know. TypeScript is saying to stay initializing here. Let's go ahead and give, so we have the ID, title, description. Now TypeScript is there, Prisma client. We have the due date, which is of type date, I think. And then we have the module ID, which is going to be a string, and then with these ones. So we can just come here inside here, and then just going to say it is going to have the task. Okay, this was going to be like tasks. Okay. So this is how this is going to be. The module data is of this type here. So you can just go back to this module. And since I think we included everything almost from here. So I'm just going to get this get the project modules and pass in the ID. So inside here, I will have the modules. I will get project modules, and where do we get the project ID? So we can just come here and we get the project ID from the params. So const and PID is equal to such params. Okay. Just like this, and of course let's make this an async function, very much class, and let's pass in the PID, and it's going to complain because this one has this string thing, so you can just say as string. Okay, great. So now we can get all the modules, but we're just going to first make two if statements. And the first one is for checking if, okay, because at this point we have to get these the modules using the project ID, and we also have the module that is selected at this point. So you can see we have the selected module. We have all the modules and the selected modules, so you could just use find, or we could just actually get it. I don't know which one is much better. Okay, let me first think. We could just go and get project module by ID. I think we already have that one. I don't know. Yes, I think we're just going to do the fetch. So I'm just going to go here and get, for instance, const. Uh, so this is the module that is going to be active. So you could just say active module is going to be equal to await get project module or something. Get. Okay, let's also go ahead and create this. So where we have this, we have this, and okay, update get category. So you're just going to say get module by ID. So you can just say get module by ID. And this is going to be module. Okay, and as simple as that. We just want the module. And so you can just come here, even before these ones, you can just say go ahead and get the active module, which is going to be project get project get actually get module. So here's a get module by ID, and let's pass in this ID here, and the ID we just get from here, and we could just say if uh no active module, just like this. We just want to return not found, so you just call the not found thing here. Okay, so I don't know if we already have the not found. We're just going to create this. Okay, I think we could also just like also go here. We just say oh, if modules. So here if modules dot length. Okay, if modules dot length is greater than 0. So uh, modules is possibly null, and we could just say give it length of 0 so that we have this. If of course there are new modules in this project, then there is no need of you going this side anyway. So we'll bring the not found. We can't just say this to design for us a 404 page. I just say here, please design for me a nice, attractive, a not found page, not found page. The page should uh, be beautifully designed and should have uh, links. Should have, I think we just call them fallback links that helps the user to navigate back to project. Okay. Let's see what it can make. It doesn't matter. Just going to use it as a starting point so that we can see in action this function here, the not found, what it can do. We'll have one page created here called not found. So you can just go here in the app, minimize all these ones here. Hey, we actually have one that comes with the starter kit. Oh, nice. Okay, let's see what the here. Yeah, I think it's like much better. Okay, just going to go the update to this. Okay, already we have one, so we're just going to go with this one, which has like the suggestions, but we're just going to update this. Okay, so we can just like it has like here the links. Now we're just going to suggest maybe going back to dashboard, going back to projects, um, which is just like dashboard, dashboard projects or the clients. Of course, we'll protect all these pages. Dashboard clients to dashboard clients. Settings. Is it really necessary? I'm just going to say here back to project, and this one should take you to the previous page. I don't know how, but we could, I guess, put. Can we just like say this? Um, on click. Can we just say on click, and then we could just say here router. So we could just come here and we first define a router. So const router is equal to use router from next navigation. Could we just say router dot push, or router dot back, just like this, so that it goes to the previous page, like the back. For dashboard settings. Uh, this how it has done it. Is this even recommended password? I think it's just a yeah, the second way of doing it if you don't use it as a charge. So from here, let's go ahead and test this and see that in action is not hard. Why are we having an error? Okay, we have the errors this side. So we can just say here modules just like this. Okay, now we have the selected. So this one just going to say, I think like the active module dot id, if is equal to this, to give it a nice thing, and then select on click and selected module. Um, we're not going to have any on a click because this is going to be something else. Like it's going to be a link. Okay, we still have some things here. We can bring here button and add project. Okay, I just remove this and I just add this. Okay, good, good. So right now, if we just go to this page, let's go and see. Refresh. Okay, need is a user router. It only works in a client component. Do we have a user router somewhere? Is it because of this not found? Or is the use router being used? Let's first go to this not found function. Sorry, the not found page. Is it because of this use router here? Let me first remove this and we see, is that the problem? Okay, nice. So you can see here deployment is selected. I'm not sure if it is the one that was selected. Um, this is so far how this looks like. We're just going to work on this to look much better. Let's start by adding, I think, some sort of padding to this. Uh, so inside here, inside the grid, we can just also add like a padding of maybe 6 or 8. And if 8 is much, um, and I just try use that. Okay, and then for the tasks, we could just give them correspond 3 here, and here we just give 9. It was like too much fixing. Yeah, I think it's the perfect. So we have these as the modules. So on top, I'm just going to provide h2 with the title. So before here, you could just like put h2 dot padding y of like 2 and use like project modules. Okay, just like this project modules. Of course, we can just like go here and get from this heading. If I can just get this heading here, just like this. Okay, and just imagine bottom of 3, and we see how this looks like. Okay, maybe we don't need the either the margin or the padding. So I'm just going to take out this and we see. Okay, so we have the project modules. Great. So what we need is to display, of course, the tasks on the other side. We need to display the tasks on the other side. Okay, and I think we can now take off this min height. We can say min height of 96 so that it doesn't need to hide this button by default. Okay, so I just need to work on this task page now. Okay, just pass in the like modules. Let's pass in any ID here. So I'm just going to pass in dash like 1. So you can see it should show this this page. Okay. What I don't know is if not found. Uh, Okay, we cannot make it, if you make it a client component, it is a different thing. The problem is now this, the back button. Someone has to go back to either the projects or these routes. Okay, back to project is very hard to route there because at this point we actually don't know the project. He has to use this back button, of which I don't know if it's a good experience. I'm just going to figure that out later on, but right now let's first configure this. Okay. Um, One thing though we could also have done is let's just leave it actually at this. I want you to create like a, a small banner that shows the project we are working on. Okay. Let's first finish this design first. So if they selected one like this one, how do we show these tasks here? Uh, so far this was looking like this. Actually, that's what I want. I want this side, um, this side to have. I don't know why border right here is not showing. We I think change this side a little bit. So this side we just have to have these cards like this. There will be three cards, not four cards. So let me just um, go here. So there is uh, um, okay. So let's see this side where we have the cards. Just going to first copy this and see. And just get this on their side. So we have the core span 3 and this core span here. We can get the card, so we have here a lot of things here. Let me see. I'm just right now interested only in this title here and this here. But the cards, of course, they have this scroll. I don't think this is really necessary because um, okay, this is going to have different tasks in different statuses, so that can be okay. Okay, let's just go ahead and just add this drop down then. So let's go ahead in this. We have the card, progress, and drop down. So I'm just going to copy these components. We not have any click of now, but just going to add this. So for the scroll, we already have it. For the icons, already we have it. Scroll area. Okay. Let's start with this. The selected module. So selected module. We have the active module. Just going to use this as active module. And this is going to be active module dot name here. Just say dot name. And then active module dot progress. We don't have this. So for now, let's just have the value of like 50%. I'm just going to see here. Then selected module is here, 50% again. So just going to see how you're going to change this dynamically. Okay. Then other places, this is selected module the tasks. So here, either we could we have this active module. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and find this from the modules, I guess. I must find this from the I might just leave this fetch because again we have to add the same thing. So I'm just going to use here active module is going to be modules. Okay, dot find. And then I'm just going to say just going to have a module here with its index. Okay, and just going to return module dot id equals id, just like this. Okay, so at that point, then this one will have already the tasks, the active module will have the tasks. And here this status. I don't know why this one now is coming from. The status is equal status. Do we define the status? Okay, the status which are here, they are not the ones. So you just have to add the to do in progress and then complete. Can just remove this one. Complete. These are the ones. So you can just come here, just clicking here, just remove these. Or the clicked selected module dot tasks. So this is going to be active module dot tasks. Footer tasks that's like this. go down where we have this drop down on a click, remove this. Um, just going to probably remove all those ones. Just don't feel stressed, frustrated. So, for instance, these ones which are having assignees, we don't want this. Okay, great. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we have any change. So far we have this is what I'm interested in the deployment. But then these cards here, let me first go ahead and also make sure that they correspond 8. So I'm just going to give it a BG of either slate or gray 50. Just like I need to have like a different background somehow. Okay, and to make sure that this is really different, what I'm just going to do is the padding we added to this, actually to this, is going to be independent. So I'm just going to add it, like add it here and also add it here, so that this, let's make this 100. Okay, so you can see now this and this one, they are totally different. And I wonder if they're the same here. Yeah, so this is looking great. Okay, so something about these cards, just going to work on them. They don't look the way you want, so just going to work on this. But so far, they selected here. Everything is looking great. Let's go ahead and make these the way we want. The first thing is that we're just going to scroll down to active module. You can see we have the module name. So in the active module, the first thing is divided into two things. We have the top one, which is actually this here. The progress, which I'm just going to edit in a second. But then we have the cards. The cards are determined by these status, the to do, in progress, and complete. These are the ones that determine that. Okay, so they have these cards, and you can see this saying grade codes 3. So just going for just make it 3 because we don't have them as 3. They are 4. Sorry, they are 3. We have the to do, in progress, so that it is finishing the whole entire thing nicely. And then inside them, we are going to be the ones to design here. But you can see there is the card titles with these buttons that are incrementing. We don't actually need these buttons. We're just going to see that in a second. Okay. So one thing we can just like design these the tops. There is this one which has like different colors. I like this one here. So I'm just going to add this like the headers to be having different colors. So you could just go to this, okay, card header, and then there is the title. What I don't know, if I give the card header like ABG or green, okay, or green, what happens? Just only the card header. Okay, it seems like they don't actually have the thing. And then I might just actually Oh, I just gave it BG green. I just want to give it BG green 600. Let's see. Okay, so you can see the headers. They can change to that. Okay, I think that one is going to serve the purpose. How about rounded? Can they get rounded? Okay, so just going to say rounded, for instance, like top left. Okay, top left, like arrow G, and then like also rounded, like top right arrow G. Like if you just only want to round the tops, so that it is just of this type here. And then inside these ones, we have the titles. Okay, there is card title here. Status, split the word. Okay, just like getting this from the stuff. Okay, which I think is looking okay at this point. And then on the other side here, we're just going to add, maybe we can just leave only this class. Okay, I'm just going to go to remove this one. We can leave this plus button. It will be used to add a task. So you can add a task here. We just have like a pop-up for adding a task to this. Okay, it will have like a pop-up for adding a task to this. Now, instead of having these like that, I'm just going to have different colors. So for instance, the first one, I'm just going to be using like this. There is these they're very tinted colors. We could just use the to do, which is orange. So how are we going to do that? So I'm just going to first remove this here. Okay, I'm just going to introduce CN here, so you can just do this. Sorry, just say CN, and this I these ones put a comma, and we're just going to use status. Okay, we just use status. If status is equal to, for instance, to do, okay, then if this is true, we just want to add a new class called bg, like orange of 100. Else if, so here just going to do an else if status is equal to, so this is going to be status is equal to in progress. So if you say it is in progress, okay, if this is true, then we just want to, if this is true, want to add maybe bg, let's see, like this is blue, so bg blue 50 or 100, we see, and then you can say ls bg green, so here bg green 100, so just like this. Okay, now we can just go and see how this one looks like. Okay, so you can see these have different backgrounds, and we can just reduce this to 50, just like this to make sure that they are not so much distracting. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, so there is this a plus button which is for adding a new task. Now we could just actually just like remove this button and reduce on our work on adding the tasks here. So I'm just going to go here, and even this maybe what we can just like add is for deleting because don't be here. Mm, I will still adding a basket, but we can still also leave these here, these plus for adding task in. If you want to add the task to be in progress direct or in complete direct, I'm just going to leave it to that. And the background and this one are the same, so we have to change somewhere. Uh, what was this class name for this background? I just want to see for this. What is that background? Okay, I think this one is BG Gray 100. Okay, so this one is going to have BG Gray 100 here, BG Gray. Okay, we can just check. Yeah, BG Gray 100. And then for the progress, let's look for the progress bar, which is inside here. I don't know if the progress bar always have, if we make this 50, this percent. Okay, I'm just going to make this maybe, let's see, bluish. Uh, I don't know why the progress bar is shut. It seems here. I don't know which one is being used in the progress bar as the background. If we use this one as, let me see, when this one was white, was it visible? Yeah, it was somehow visible. However, here this looks more prominent and like really black. I don't know how that was achieved. I'm not seeing any color being applied to this. Let's first see shade. You can just search for progress. I don't think there is anywhere you can actually give it any other things like color. You cannot give the color. You can just like look at the API reference. Mm, it doesn't have the color or something. Okay, we can just either if we passed in a more dark color. If you pass in here like a BG rate 400, does this come out? Okay. Just say this and we see like that would be totally different design. Let's just try slate 50. Okay. This progress, we might just need uh to redesign it. For now, I'm just not going to mind about it so much. Let's just like mind about this whole entire thing. So on the other side of this, so inside we have this node here. Inside where we have this active module, we have this the name and the progress. So on the other side, I just want to add a button where you can actually add like a new task here. Uh, so right now, I'm just going to go ahead and if I have this and this one, first of all, I'm just going to put these ones together into a div, just like this. Okay, so after putting them, I can just like bring in another div. Now this div is going to have two things. It's going to have like a p tag showing the tasks. Can you say 22 tasks? And then you can just like add a button here. Okay, of add new task. Okay, just like this. And I'm just going to add here to be flex items center justify between. So this should just like show up at the extreme end with the number of tasks. So you can say like we'll be having like 22 tasks within this deployment. We have 22 tasks and you can add a new task. Now here we're just going to, of course, get the tasks. Let me see how this one looks like. Let me put these here. And just leave them here. 22 tasks. Just like this. Okay, and we're just going to get this to be active module dot tasks dot length. Okay, if this is greater than 0, then we can show this, and then we can just also come here and add this like so. So if it is not there, then we'll have this. If we have a fast task, then they will show up on top of there. So yeah. Then what you just want to do right now is changing this. Can we be able to change the modules? That is the question. Can we change the modules? I think we can. The only thing we just need to do is still generate these. See that we can change this here. So we're just going to use a link. So on the sidebar here, where we have these modules, okay, this is supposed to be a link. Okay, and being a link now, we can just like pass in the href like this. Okay, so we need to pass in the href. Here, just going to say still taking to project, so we can just like copy exactly this. Okay, just copy that and let's go ahead and paste it here. So project modules, and this is the module .id. So I just go here, put this. So this is going to be module .id. And then this one is going to actually keep there, which is going to be module dollar. This one is still module dot project ID, just like this. So this one is going to be easily able to actually change these things. So if we just say reports, you can see reports, these payments, project management. So you can change these ones. That's good. Now next we just need to work on is actually adding a task. Okay, is actually adding a new task. So you have to create a new task form. I'm just going to go ahead to where we have things like the module form. So module form, I just want to duplicate this. To task form. Okay, so the first thing is that you need to enter here in terms of the data we need. We can just go to the schema very fast and we see what we need. Data task has needs a title, a description, we're just going to remove the description of the task. I don't know if this is like really necessary, the task description, because we're just not going to show it. And I just go remove this. We're going to have only the title. Okay, we'll update. So we just need the this status and then due date. Mm, I don't think it also needs due date. For now, just like make it as simple. Have title and the status. Okay. And it will also have the users assigned, the assignees, which we just see in the future. But right now, let's have it have only these two things: title status, module ID. These three things are the ones it needs. So if we go to the module form, before we forget, let's go ahead and stop the server and re-update here. So let me just go to we call the task form. So let me just go here and pass in the things we need to have here. So basically, we need the initial content, which is going to be the title, and this, I believe, initial content, and then module ID, just only those two things. So I'm just going to go here, make this module ID, and then we don't need a user ID, username, need. We can just say pass here initial title, and editing ID will be there. And then you're just going to pass in initial status. Okay. Editing ID. So let's just do the same thing here. Module ID. So here, module ID is going to go here. Remove this. The initial title, which is going to go to this, and the also the initial status, initial status, which is going to be of type task status. Okay, and then editing ID. So basically, those are the ones we need to pass in. Yeah, I can just remove these ones. So this one is title. The status, I'm not sure if it is going to be in the form. We just give it a default one. If, yeah, it will not be actually in the form. So here we just only have the title. Now we can just go ahead and create our own props for this. Let's create title, task props. It has a title, status, which is task status, and then module ID. So we have module ID, and that's it. That is the three things we need to pass in that. So if you just go back to the task form, first of all, pass in here these task props. So title is going to be initial title. And for status, we can just leave it. And this one is going to be so task props. Okay. So here just have to say data dot module ID is equal to module ID. So this one has to be passed in and is required. We don't need the user ID really. Okay. So data.module ID is the only thing we just right now need. So just going to go ahead and create these two for create and edit. So we can just go to modules and let's duplicate the modules to tasks. Okay. So this is going to be create task, which is task modules, task props, and this is going to be task dot create data. Okay. Return. So this is going to be new task, and even here, new task. So we need another one, which is update. So I will first leave on all these ones. We just go to update task by ID, and this is going to be task props. So I updated the task. Here is going to be also task data, and this is going to be return updated task. Okay, these are the two functions we need. Let's go back to the task form, and we can just say update task by ID. Okay, and then this is going to be create task, not create table, create task. Okay. Can I first remove all these that we don't need? And the new Next.js, if you have and I use the imports, this cannot deploy. Okay, we're also just going to be teaching ourselves before we go to that side. Okay, so here I'm just going to say data.status. So we might just actually just like passing initial status is equal here to initial status. And here is saying, let's say about task status. Okay, so this one, I just make it required. So instead of this, let's make it required. So we have these two here, and then we pass in the data, which is going to have in the title only. So inside this, we have this button. This button is also going to be changing depending where it is. But for now, let's just like leave it like that. We're just going to bring the one we have from their side. It doesn't have a variant, and we can also remove this with this full thing plus, and this one is going to be add new task. Okay, so I think edit tasks and new task. So inside the form, we just only want the title. Okay. uh, and the submit, add and update. So if we just going to use this one, so I'm just going to go to module form. Let's go to modules page, and somewhere we had this add new task here. Sorry, I'm just going to do this. Uh, how comes it is coming from two places? There's one which is in the task form, module form. Okay, we have a problem. Let's go back to the task form. Okay, this one's supposed to be task form. Okay, so let's go back. So here now, if we say task form, okay, it needs these parameters here. I'm just going to go ahead and add them. The module ID should be active module dot ID. Initial title. So this one is not required. Initial title shouldn't be required. Okay. Editing ID is also not required. By the status, this one is just going to give. So at first, this should take in this. Okay, something like this. Two things that it need takes in. Okay, refresh. Yeah, importing a continuous state, it only works, but none of it's what do you mean? This one should be use client. Really? But are we using use client in this site? Let's see. We have somewhere use state. Where is that use state? Let me first see here. We're using these use state. Yeah. Okay, here we actually need use state with the loading. Okay, so you add this and now you say add new task. Okay, let's just add, for instance, I'm just going to go to authentication and let me add a new task here. For instance, designing login page. Designing login page. Add. And you can see now a new task actually has been added. Designing login page. It doesn't look good, but this is good. Okay, there is this, I think, which is really nice. Okay. Uh, we can now also, since we have one task now, we just want to also implement, if I add from these different stuff, you can see this one enters. If I add the second one, designing sign up page, sign up page. So you can select all these ones. By default, they go to do. So you could just also create that. If you create from this icon here, it goes with a different one, like a status, a different status here. And to do that, we have to put a check onto this one. Okay, I'm just going to pass in also another thing here on the module form, not module, but on the task form. So where we have the task form here, I'm just going to pass in one more thing, default to be true or false. So here I'm just going to say default true. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a new thing here. On the task form, I will pass in another thing here, default, which is going to be actually a boolean. Okay. And the by default, we might just make it true. So I just say here by default, I'm just going to say this is false. Okay. Oh, do I give it like that? Supposed to be equal signs. Maybe just like how to put this in. Jesus. Uh, can they give it property? Okay. What is missing? Expected that property is a value. Default is a boolean and a basic false. I feel it's supposed to be equal signs though. How do I give a value of false as? Okay, let me just go to like text input so that you can just see something here. Okay. Yeah, you're supposed like to pass in something here. You can pass in stuff like that. I don't know why here it is being a pain. I don't know what's going on here right now. Can we first go like before we added these? So everything was okay. So how comes if I add in a new value default, maybe just add it like I'm just gonna say is default true. Okay, I just say false. Let's pass like this. And then here, I'm just going to say is default is a Boolean. Okay. So just going to go to this side. Let's go to where we have this here. So we can also use this. Just a second. For this purpose here, where we have this button, just going to copy it and let's go to task form and let's go here and we compare default. So I'm just going to put these two buttons here. So to be able to do that, we need to use here this, and I'm just going to say is default. If it is true, we're just going to show one. Okay. If it is default, is just going to show this. Okay. So we can just also come here in the form. Okay. So we can just copy this form we have here. And then we can add this here, like so. So now, instead of passing the status to do, I'm just going to pass the status. So you can pass in the status. And then here, instead of is a default, I'm just going to remove it. So I'm just also going to make this not to be required since it has a default value. So here, like so. So the error should be gone from this side. Yeah. So now you can see we still have the plus. But if you pass in, for instance, a new thing here, let's refresh. If you just go here and I click on this, okay. Okay, the whole thing has stopped now opening, and I believe task form it is due to this button we added here. Okay, so we can just instead leave the way it was. Let me just kind of leave it the way it was here, like this. So if we put back, you can see add new task everywhere, but it is working. But so you can just like add within this. Okay, so you say is default, then with that is when you want to the text. So you can just use a span inside here. Okay. And then for this, you see now, uh, so for this type of button, it had, I think it had not even outline, it had the, now it works, but want to make this one type outline. So you can say variant, okay, and we can also define it according to is default. If this is true, then we use the default. Otherwise, we use the ghost. Was it like the ghost? Must have been something like ghost. Yeah, so these have these sort of thing going on. Still, they open the module. So just add a task, for instance, in complete. So if I just come here, add new task, for instance, discussing maybe wireframing, wireframing. So if I just add now this one, should just add it in progress. And if I add here, maybe client call, so I should just add this, and this is going to go in complete, just like this. Okay, that's the good thing of adding these buttons. They can add in the specific thing here. Okay, so there is this weird thing going on. I don't know it is from where. Let me first look in the design. We see what is this. Okay, so I'm just going to go to here. Mm, we have the title, and on the other side, well, we have these three drop down, which is actually nice. So we have the shadow rounded BG white. Let's see what was the plan. How does this look this side? Okay. Let's try for us to. I don't know if this shadow is supposed to make this like BG red. 400. See completely. What is that? Oh, okay. It seems like there is a padding bottom though. I don't know if it's like a padding bottom or with this. Okay, there is margin bottom of 2, and also on the task there is a margin bottom. Let me see if it is necessary. Let's see here. Okay, this one is not necessary. Okay, and then there is this here. EG red. So I'm just going to say instead of this margin y of 2, yeah, so that it actually goes off that. Okay, so here I'm just going to say BG gray 50. Let's see here, how does it look like? Okay, we have just going to say rounded, maybe MD. And then maybe also the text. Can we just reduce text SM? Yeah, just like this. This is still like a flex. Mm, item start, oh, item center. I don't know. Yeah. And I think to avoid that is that on the title we could just put also line clamp of one. Okay, so this is looking great. So you have to work on this edit and the delete. Okay, edit and delete. Now that we have tasks, you can see we have 4 tasks in this. Okay, we calculate these complete and these, but for now, if you go to another one, you see it has no tasks. So that is probably good. Okay. Um, then these dots, I'm not sure if they are really required. We might just like we add like a checkbox or something. Um, what can we do right now? We can start by doing the edit and the delete. So the edit, we already have the functionality working. The only thing is to add that thing there. So where we have this edit, we have to bring the button here. So I'm just going to actually take this icon the way it is like this. Let me just take it to control P, task form. Let's see where we have the edit. We have the edit here. So so I'm just going to add this in a button, of course. Just like this. Bring the edit and let's remove all these styles. Okay. I don't know what the problem here. Did you mean the button or something? So this is okay. I'm just going to go ahead in the within this side. So here, what we're just going to do is, so we have the drop down item, drop down item. So inside it here, we're just going to add the task form. Let's get the one with some pre-filled things like this one here. Okay, we can pass in other things like initial title, which is going to be now the initial title that we're in a task. So it will be task dot title. Then the initial status this time is going to be task dot status. And what else can we pass into this? Let's see, editing ID. So I'm just going to do this. Module ID. Okay, remove this. Remove this. Initial status, we already have it. And is default. Okay, I think we need to pass in editing ID. I'm not seeing it. So this one is going to be task dot ID. And then finally, this here. Yeah, we could still use the active module, but if you wanted, you could still get it from the task. If we just go here and say task dot, you see it has the module ID from that very one. So now we should just have, if I refresh, we should have like, okay, this. Okay, let's just first sort that one in the task form. This one's supposed to have a class name. Okay, I think we could just like have, is this like a button or something? Okay, just give it a flex item center. Okay, so we have this. If I click this, okay, there is that problem. So when you come to this, I think this one can give it as child, so that the click is transformed to the below thing. And you can see the designers are also actually gone. So what we can do is I can go back to the form, and if I wanted, I could actually make this an actual button. Now I won't need this, and I could give it a variant of ghost. So you could just say variant of ghost. Yeah, so you can see, maybe we just give it width is full. Okay, so you can see it has a variant of ghost. If I click it, and now I just want to update this, designing login, login, update. So you can see it updates. So the update is working fully, which we can also transform the same thing to the delete, so that it is able to delete this. We can also bring in the, can first work on the delete. Let's just go to tasks, and the only one you want to add is the delete task. Okay. The task like that. This one is going to be deleted task. This one is going to be task, and then here task. Sorry, deleted task. Okay. Just want to go ahead and just delete the task here. And we need to create a component here. What there is the task form. Task form. Okay, so where we have this task form here, we just need to create a delete. So delete task. The tsx. So here we're just going to copy this component for the alert dialog. This one. So just simply copy and let's paste it here. Okay. So this one is going to be delete task. Delete a task. So inside here, we're just going to have an async function, which is just going to say handle delete. Handle delete task. And here you can just do it by catch. We put the delete logic here. Okay. We're just going to have the same thing. And for this one, I'm not going to have, we might not have a dialogue. I don't know if it is uh, really relevant to delete this task. Like first show this dialogue. Anyways, I just like show the maybe show the dialogue. Do we really need to show the dialogue on the task? Okay, I'm not going to show the dialogue here. I'm just going to actually just delete. So here I'm just going to return the basically the button. Yeah, just like this. Like delete. So on click. So here this on click will be actually executing the handle delete task. Okay, so let's continue with the delete functionality. So I'm just going to say here const response is await delete task, and let's pass in the ID. So we just have to have this ID that is going to be coming in, so we can pass in here ID, and ID is going to be of type string. Okay, then if response dot okay, then we're just going to say toast dot success, and we're just going to say deleted. Okay, then we have here this. So this is going to be our handle delete. So what I'm just going to do is going back here, and we get the delete button, which is this one. Just copy the icons, and we're just going to put it here. And then here just going to add variant of ghost. Okay, so let's go and use this delete task. You can just copy this, and let's go to here. Let's go ahead and put in this, the delete task button, and let's pass the ID here, which is going to be equal to task good ID. Okay. So let's refresh here. If we just go, okay. First of all, make sure this is a use client. And here we can also do this. Okay. I'm just going to create a test task. And let's try to delete this task. I don't know why this one looks like this. I'm just going to also pass in this here as child. You can also pass in a class name with this full, just to be able to complete this. So if we click on delete, Let's see. I'll refresh. Let me just go ahead and click on delete. Okay, task deleted. Now let's create another one here. Test task. And we can just go ahead and delete. We can also and give this text rate of 500. Even on hover, can even make a text rate of 400. Or 600. Okay. Good. So we have the delete working. I'm just going to reduce on the padding for these for the task. Task has a padding let me see. See here. Okay, this one is necessary. I want the one for the card, and I might just like remove the status for the card. It has a lot of space. It is wasting, so we can just go ahead and here where we have a card, this can be a div. Let's first try and see. Even this is a div. This one, let's make it h2. And even this is a div. That's all. Okay. So you can see uh, how it has become. So we can start by giving it here. Let's give it a class name. Let me first give a border so that we see clearly. Okay. So after giving a border, we'll give the padding like of 2. Okay, so this one is going to be put on different containers. So for instance, for the header, the padding is going to be inside. So here I'm just going to add px of 3. Okay. And then we have roundness. This time this is going to be cut from here, and we can actually add it on this outer uh, div. Make sure that the padding remains. Okay. We could also just put shadow. So here we can just put a shadow. It looks like too much, I believe. So let's first remove it. Then inside the to do, inside the scroll area here, you can give a class name, pixel3. Or even I'll do, okay. We have to give, mhm, well, we have roundness here. We can just give overflow. Overflow hidden. And then we can also look at the title. There is this padding bottom. Let's first see. Okay. Let's go ahead and make this font bold. Okay. I think at this point, this looks okay. Okay. Okay, I just now put this percentage completion. Now that we have finished the tasks here, I think this looks okay for now. We'll maybe improve it more than this, but for now, let's leave it like this. I just want to go and calculate this percentage. So on top here, where we have this, it is here, active module name. So we can just first go on top here and we calculate, for instance, const completed tasks, completed tasks is going to equal to active module dot tasks. Okay. If the tasks dot, so we can just go ahead and we can just say if the completed tasks dot length is greater than 0, and for this greater than 0, if this is true, then we're just going to say we are going to access now this, else will say 0. So this one just going to do a filter, and we have access to a task with its index. So you can just say go ahead and find a task dot status equal to complete. So this is the completed tasks. Okay. Then we can just go here, and we can just get all tasks. So you can just say here. So this is dot length. So here we have to get the dot length here, because this is going to return an array. So we can, I'm just going to go here and say all tasks is dot length here. So all tasks is you get active model dot tasks dot length, and this so to get the percentage, so const percentage completion is equal to, so you have to get all tasks. So we have to put brackets, and we're just going to say complete tasks divided by all tasks. Okay. And then whatever we get out, we multiply by 100. Let me hope so. So we can just go here, and instead we put this percentage completion. There are two places we need to put this. And then here also on progress, just like this. Okay, so you can see it is saying 25% because there are 4 tasks, sorry, and one is complete. So that is like 25% completion. If we increase one more task, like a test task, you can see that this becomes 20 now because there are now 5 tasks. Okay, so that's also done where we have the percentage completion calculated. Now another thing is what else? So in our next video, we'll just like try to implement drag and drop features. But for now, at least I think here is we have not a number. So we can just go ahead and divide, and we say we can give this can be 0 all tasks, and then so we are going to have like 0 over 0. So we can just say we can just let this to be percentage completion here. And if we put 0, if it does that can help. Okay, not a number still. So I can just like say let equals 0. So here let percentage completion equals 0, so that here will be adding. So we can just like make an if statement here. If uh, or tasks, so all tasks here is equal to 0, or completed tasks is equal to 0. Then percentage completion is also equal to 0. So I think now we should just have 0 here. What is the percentage completion at this point? Console.log. Percentage completion. This is server side, so we expect this to come this side. It says not a number. Actually, mm, so this is tasks dot length. This should give back a number. Let's console.log, for instance. Let me all tasks first of all. Let's first look at that. Okay, so here we have 0, 0. Okay. I don't know if it's supposed to here we could just say else, and let's move this here. Okay, so yeah, it is now 0, so that 0 complete. So if we just earn one task for like test in wireframing, is one have one task, test 2. Okay, so we just need to implement using the drag and drop the state of changing from this. We drag it here, it changes to in progress, and then we can change from in progress to this, so that it actually just be updating all these figures. Okay, and yeah, so far this is what we have. You can change this. Now I'm not sure if we need these dots here. We could just remove them, or we put another icon, but I'm just going to change it to maybe a check. Let me just go to module data name. So there is this is the one here. Okay, so may I want to change this. I want to put the check icon. Let's first put a check. Let me just first give it. Okay, we can just simply take off this. Okay, a second. So this check is inside. I just put it here and remove this. So I'm just going to give a class name to this. Width is 04, height of 4, margin right of 2. Let's first see the check, and we can just give this text muted, and for the active one, so we can also just do the active. Okay, so we can just say that we can also test this inside here, and then we can show if this is true, then show this. It is. So this. So there is this one. We just want to make it. I think the color of the background is BG blue. So here we can also first of all text blue. Like 500, and this one I want to make it a double check. Just say check. There is let me first go and check in a receipt with check. So we have this is check actually. So you can say check. Okay, so we just want to show a double check for the one that is active, like this. Okay, so if we just go to this, you can see this one has a double check, and it is the one that is on here. Okay, so this side, I think we are done. We are just remaining to put, and this one is going to be add a new model. So while we have this add project, we can just go ahead and add model. So we already have this. The problem, I don't know what do we need to add a new model. I'm just going to go to project detailed page, and we can just say add, or we can just go to modules. So here we must be having somewhere add module, which is this one actually. So we need the username. Okay, I think these ones are, they can be gotten. So I'm just going to go here in this modules, where we have this. Let me just go ahead and put this one. Let's import the form. Now let's start with getting the ID. So the ID here, we already have the PID. So here we just simply put the PID. The problem, and you can say as string. Okay, then we can just get the user, the authenticated user. So I'm just going to come and say const user is equal to await get auth user. So here we can just do this. Okay. Now the problem is that the user might be null. So what we can do is we can just give this the here. Okay, so you're using a component that uses use state. Use client. And the reason why it didn't give us the error yesterday in the other one, if you are in already a use client parent, you don't need to have a use client sub child. But if you find you have a server parent, you must make the child a use client. That's why yesterday while working from the project detailed page, which is actually a client, it was a client component, but then now these ones at this point, since we are in the server, we have to make them that. So we have this, which is still having this here. I can just create a test module. Test, click add, and this one should be added. You can see it here. So you click on it, it also has like 0. We can just go ahead and give even tasks in it right away. The IDs, everything remains working exactly the way it's supposed to, which is a really nice thing. Maybe what we cannot do is editing, but if you wanted also, you could actually go ahead and add the icons to edit, but we could just like leave that functionality the other side. For editing, on the other page, where you can just go ahead and actually edit the module, but the creation, you can add new modules from here. Okay, so far so good. Let's first go back to the, we have to put here this button for going back to the projects. Let me just go and get from project detailed page, project detailed page. I just want to get this upper thing here, which has this back to. Okay, so we'll just copy this. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it in here. Okay, so just go at the top here. So inside this, we can add this. We can just bring in here these things. Okay, so now since we have this, we can get a session. Const session is equal to await get server session, await get server session, and this part in the auth options. So now we could actually just now use the session to get the user. So here you can just select it is session dot user, just like this, and that serves the whole process. So we can just have also the back. Let's look at the what the back is doing. So this one, we wanted to go back to the project, so we just say make this dynamic. How do we get back to that? We have only the project ID. We need to find a way to get back to that. Let me first put some padding to this. Just going to say padding of 4. And then for these ones, I'm just going to, I will just say padding X, and I'm just going to say padding Y of 4 here. The same thing here, PX and PY of 4. Yeah. So this back to this one should be back. project. Okay. So far this is good. The back button is, so we have to create a back button, I think, once and for all, and then we import it. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this. Then I'm just going to go ahead and in the components, I'm just going to create a back button, the TSX, just RFC, and then just going to add this button. We don't need to have, so here we can just say back, just. I need this icon, so I'm just going to add here back. You can bring the button and this chevrolet. So here, this one is going to be using const router. Is going to be use router from next navigation. And then here you can just say use client. And then on a click here, you should be able to have router.back. So, and we could pass in the title, which will have a default of back. And we're just going to say this is a string, but not required. So we can just come and put here this the title. So you can just come and use this back button in any page you want. So for instance, here we can just have the back button. So you can pass in the title, or for instance, you can just say title back to project. Okay, just refresh. Okay, let's just go to dashboard projects. So in also in the 404, we can just like put this button here. So we can just say here, let's pass in the title, which will be like back to project. Let's go ahead and go into this. Okay, so you can just go to authentication error and the where does this error come from? React children only expected to receive a single React element child. So this is coming from where? React child only expects a single React element. Let me hope it is not this one. Okay, so it is not this one. Let's first see this one. Can't be also this one. So let's go to the edited page. I wonder what would be the problem. Sure, of the problem right now. I think they are not pointing out which, so we can just use, we can first go ahead and remove the ones we just added from the top. Okay, so basically the problem is coming from here. Okay, let's just try to find out where the problem is. So we can just also take off this one. Okay, so the basically the problem is on the button. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and maybe add this. uh, okay, I think it's because of the icon. So let me just put this in a span. I don't know why it is. Oh, okay. It's because of this as a child. Okay. That's what the problem actually is. Then another thing we can just like work on these columns before we forget. So you can just go on these and sort of say that this is in LG and here you can say whole span full. Okay. Okay, so you can just like have something like this. For now, I don't know how best we can make these ones. Even these grid columns, we can also make them to uh, so here where we have grid, let's first go and see. So here we can just say this is LG, but otherwise grade equals 1. Okay. And then you can also, for this, we can just add the flex wrap. Okay. So far it's not too bad. We can start from this one. Okay, so that side we are remaining with the Kanban from that side only. So I wanted to invite the members, but I will not be able because I'm actually just sick. I'm not feeling right now well to continue. Just need to rest a bit. I'm just going to stop here for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. So I'm just going to go ahead and publish this so that we can start there from there. Thank you so much.